This is Access Ann Arbor.
Welcome to Ann Arbor Rotary Today. I'm your host, Steve Schramm of the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor, and today we want to share with you the many aspects of the world's largest international service club, Rotary International, a club that puts service above self in all of its programs and works here in Ann Arbor, as we have for nearly 100 years and around the world. Today you're going to learn about the essence of Rotary. We'll briefly answer the questions that so many ask. What is Rotary? What does it do? Who belongs? After we briefly introduce you to this world of Rotary, we'd like you to meet some members of our local Rotary Club of Ann Arbor. These are men and women who you may already know who have, by their leadership, helped to make special programs, projects, and community grants come together with many other local Rotarians in our club to better serve the Ann Arbor area and beyond, as our help connects with the needs around the globe. Coming up, we'll talk with two well-informed Rotarians about exciting plans surrounding the centennial celebration of the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor. We'll share a snapshot of the past and show how the decades of service and success have allowed the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor to grow to become the largest such club in the state of Michigan. And then we'll visit the good works of the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor by speaking with Rotarians who keep the pulse of what our club accomplishes for Ann Arbor in terms of community engagement, involvement with future Rotarians in our Interact and Rotaract youth service groups, and many mentoring and community events that build service above self. Then we focus on the globe as the goodwill impact of the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor goes around the world to tangible projects that provide stronger outcomes and better lives for children and adults. Our Rotary Club of Ann Arbor Club President Ashish Sarkar will be here to provide insight and details to the club's commitment of working with other Rotary clubs internationally to make change for the better. Let's start with the first question you may have. What is Rotary? In one sentence, it is this. Rotary International is an organization of business and professional people united worldwide who provide humanitarian service, encourage high ethical standards in all vocations, and help build goodwill and peace in the world. What is evident in the strength of the collective leadership and expertise of our 1.2 million members is the ability to tackle some of the world's biggest challenges locally and globally. In Rotary International, we are united by common values and vision for the future as we sharpen our focus with targeted specific causes that will reach communities most in need. We accomplish these objectives with the dedication of time, talent, and resources to the 5 avenues of club service: vocational service, community service, youth service, and international service. These avenues of service are Rotary's philosophical cornerstones and the foundation of our club activity. With our club, the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor, nearing its centennial milestone in 2016, our guiding principles have been the foundation upon which our values and our traditions stand. The 4-way test and the avenues of service express our commitment and service to fellowship, diversity, integrity, and leadership. You may have heard of the 4-way test, the philosophy of Rotary's own operating system for a member's way of thinking about decisions and acting toward others. Every day, we strive to use the 4-way test to guide our actions. Here's the Rotary 4-way test. Of the things that we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? That has been simplified into one motto practiced by Rotarians around the world: service above self. If a Rotarian can point to one overarching principle, it is that. From that ideal of service, the object of Rotary is to encourage and foster positive activities, such as the development of acquaintance as an opportunity for service, high ethical standards in business and professions, the application of the ideal of service in every Rotarian's personal, business, and community life, and the advancement of international understanding, goodwill, and peace through a world of fellowship united in the ideal of service. But your membership in Rotary is not all that hard work. Rotarians have a lot of fun while helping others. The combination of service with opportunities to make professional connections and friends. You may ask yourself, what's in it for you? Well, it could be a variety of benefits. Let us count the ways. Leadership, inspiration, global connections, a sense of purpose, responsibility, networking, mentoring, teamwork, challenges, plus, of course, fun and friendship. Those benefits and your energy can help support a variety of club efforts to promote peace, fight disease, provide clean water, save mothers and children around the globe, support education, and grow local economies. All of this starts at your Rotary Club of Ann Arbor, right here and readily accessible. We also develop the Service and Leaders of Tomorrow with our community youth. Youth service recognizes the importance of empowering youth and young professionals through leadership development, such as Rotaract, Interact, and Rotary Youth Leadership Awards, and the Rotary Youth Exchange. As we said, we're on the way to celebrating our centennial, our 100th year anniversary at the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor. 15 charter members founded our Rotary Club in 1916, only 11 years after the first Rotary Club was organized in Chicago. Our membership now stands at over 325 members. The Rotary Club of Ann Arbor is one of 34,500 Rotary clubs worldwide. Only about 32 of those are larger than our club, and our Rotary Club of Ann Arbor is the largest in the state of Michigan. The goal of this program today is to create enthusiasm for Rotary by opening up the world of Rotary for your observation and understanding. We also hope to show the great potential of Rotary service for the benefit of the world that can be furthered with excellent leadership in our clubs. If this appeals to you or sounds like something that could inspire you to do more in your life and for your community, then we need to meet you. It's easy to connect with the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor. Check us out, attend a meeting as a guest, and learn more. Here's the easy way. Phone 732-662-1734 or email at administrator@annarborrotary.org. We're on Facebook too at Rotary Club of Ann Arbor, and Twitter us at Ann Arbor Rotary. We'll return in a moment with two Ann Arbor Rotarians who help us learn about this club's history and our exciting plans to celebrate the first century of the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor with a special project the whole community will enjoy. Stay with us. You're watching Ann Arbor Rotary today on CTN.
What is Rotary? We're a network of people like you. In fact, we're the original social network. More than 1 million of us live just about everywhere you can think of. And we mean everywhere. We get together to exchange ideas, grow our businesses, and make new friends. We volunteer to help our own communities or someone else's. We're right around the corner. Come join us. The name is Rotary. Rotary International. You're welcome.
I love Rotary because Rotary is making such a great impact on the lives of youth, especially not just the privileged youth, but the underprivileged youth that we work with in our club.
I joined Rotary to give back to the community. And when I think back of all the times I struggled at school, I decided to do Rotary Tutors, where I could help get kids to their grade level.
I just enjoy the fellowship of men and women in this group. It's a wonderful way to meet new people.
I love Rotary for a lot of reasons. I love coming and chatting with people and meeting with people at the Rotary luncheons. Always a lot of great people there. I also like the opportunities to give back to the community. I used to be a high school teacher, so I get to volunteer in classrooms through the Rotary Readers Program, and for me that's a lot of fun.
This is Ann Arbor Rotary Today. I'm Steve Schramm, your host and a director on the board of the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor. Now let's turn our focus to the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor and its history. From its early beginnings formed nearly 100 years ago to the ways in which the club will mark its centennial milestone with a very special community project. Here to tell us more are two fellow Ann Arbor Rotarians. First, welcome Karen Carey. Karen is the immediate past president of the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor and presently sits on the Centennial Planning Committee. And Karen, you come from a proud family lineage in our club. Your mom, Gloria, is a member of our club. Your dad, Bob Carey, is a wonderful gentleman and just earned his emeritus status with our club as well, and was also our club president from 1975 to 1976. Also with Karen is Collier Smith. Collier is our president-elect of the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor, and his term as president will begin in July 2016. Welcome, Collier.
Thank you.
And you're already involved in a number of committees throughout the year with our club, so thank you for your service. So let's start from the beginning. Karen, let's talk about how we got to today. How did this Rotary Club of Ann Arbor come to be? Give us a little bit of sense of the history in addition to those 100 years that we know that are on the way.
We started, Steve, in 1916, as you said, and our first kind of gift to the community was a horse for somebody going to serve in World War I. So we've come a long way since then, right, Collier?
That's right.
Now we're giving away about $175,000 in a year, both globally and locally, which is important. But the reason I joined the club, frankly, was I wanted to serve, and I also wanted to do some networking. But the reason I stay in the club, I think, we would all say, is for fun and for fellowship and for the Wednesday meetings that we have in the Michigan Union with great speakers, and you never know who you'll be sitting next to. Retired head of the FBI, head of Michigan Public Radio, it's all here.
And there's plenty of opportunity to serve. As many changes that we've seen in the 100 years, service is still the key thing, giving back to the community, whether it's Habitat for Humanity. I worked on a project where I had to climb up on a ladder. I'm scared of heights, but we had Rotaract people who are college students who were boosting my confidence up there, peeling stuff up.
I know. I was there with you. I remember this.
That was a hoot. And if that, otherwise we're cutting carrots for food gatherers and putting them in bags, getting them in a food pantry. And we just finished off a youth leadership course over at Peace Neighborhood where we worked with 6th to 8th graders and helping them with their communication and leadership skills, and we had Rotary leaders coming in to share their excitement and enthusiasm. So we do a lot of volunteer activities.
And it's so important that that message get out, that Rotary is not just a lunch meeting with individuals every
But they're
Wednesday.
great lunch meetings.
They are tremendous.
Okay.
But the service in the community and the service around the globe is one of the trademarks that makes the club substantial and makes it important to the community. Let's talk about what we are about to celebrate, which is 100 years of Rotary in Ann Arbor. We're approaching the centennial milestone. And what is going to be happening? How is the club going to mark this celebration?
Well, we had to come up with what we wanted to do because there are obviously so many areas we could help the local community. So with the motto of the club being helping all kids succeed, we wanted to do something that was unique and was an unmet need in the community. And we don't have any universal access playgrounds that are publicly accessible in Ann Arbor. So we are working with the City of Ann Arbor Parks and Rec Department, that's Colin Smith and Amy Curis, and we are designing a universal access playground at the region's most utilized park, and that's Gallup Park. And the really cool thing is, like Olmsted was to Central Park, Ken Polakowski was to Gallup Park originally, and as they went to Smith Group JJR, they gave us a landscape architect, and it will be Cheryl Zulig, who is doing this for us, who is none other than Ken Polakowski's daughter. Fantastic. So we are going to have a great father-daughter legacy, and we have some great plans for the playground, and it's going to be unveiled in 2016, like you said, for our celebration. We've raised $700,000 towards the $1 million playground already.
That's what I wanted to talk about. This is not your typical playground in terms of the concept or the cost or the way that it's going to be able to serve all sorts of constituencies and populations, Collier.
Yes, kids with disabilities can play side by side with other kids, whether they have disabilities or not. They can socialize, they can develop friendships, they can act like kids. Yeah. And what's unique about this is that the ramps are extended so that kids with disabilities or in wheelchairs can easily access the playground. In addition, the ground is such so that if they have mobility devices, they can get around. Yet, if they're kids and they're having fun and they slip, they'll cushion because it's very soft. So out of the 80 parks in Ann Arbor, none compared to this as far as offering to disability with kids.
Well, it sounds like a dynamic project, and it sounds like it will be a gift to Gallup Park and the community of Ann Arbor, one they've never seen before. And I think that's an important part of the legacy of what we're trying to leave to celebrate our 100 years. And I know there'll be many other community aspects of what we are going to be doing in the coming year, and a lot of the thematic of how we raise money for the playground, the Universal Access Playground, allows us to involve other community members too. We're willing and able to take donations from the community, right?
It is true. We can do
And
that.
so,
looking for help. We've got 300,000 to go.
If someone wanted to make a donation to the playground, how would they do that?
They would go to the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor website and contact us.
Okay, AnnArborRotary.org.
Ann Arbor Rotary Club of Ann Arbor.org.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
there
very
you
good.
go.
Well, I want to thank both of you, my guests, Karen Carey and Collier Smith, for your insights on the 100 years of service of the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor. It's very exciting to hear about the accessible playground, and I know that that work will be commencing, not only the fundraising, but the construction coming very soon, and the whole community will enjoy that very much. So thank to both of you for being here. Next, let's tell you more about what the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor does for the community right here where you live. We'll welcome two Rotarians who have the facts and insight to how the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor serves so many constituencies and special needs throughout the area. We'll be right back. You're watching Ann Arbor Rotary Today on CTN.
I love Rotary. I joined Rotary because I wanted to be part of a service organization that thinks big. And there's nothing bigger than thinking you can eradicate polio, which we have done through Rotary in 99% of the world. Thank you, Rotarians.
I love Rotary because it's fun. There's great fellowship, and it's a great opportunity to serve with other community, servant-minded community leaders.
I get energized by Rotary. We have a great number of highly talented people working together to help people out here and in many places around the world. No individual by themselves could do so much. It's great.
I love Rotary because for 28 years it's meant I've gotten out of my office at Burt Memorial Tower. I've come over to the Union for wonderful meetings, and it's a great chance to bring town and gown together.
Our Rotary Club is a breath of fresh air to me.
I came to Rotary for service and I stayed for fellowship.
I love Rotary because Rotary cares about the world.
I joined Rotary because I care.
I had the opportunity to go to Rotary International in June of 2015, and it makes you very proud to be a Rotarian when you see 14,000 other Rotarians from all over the world and all the good work they are doing to improve our globe.
I'm happy and I'm proud to be a Rotarian.
This is Ann Arbor Rotary Today. I'm Steve Schramm. You've heard us mention the Rotary motto, service above self. Nowhere in Rotary culture is that more evident than with our community programs, including those efforts to which we add the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor funding through a grants process, and Rotary's personal support, and those efforts supporting youth in our area with efforts like Rotaract, Junior Rotarians, and Strive, just to mention a few. The programs and grants are numerous and impressive in their impact, and here to help us understand the scope of our involvement is Leo Shedden, a new director of Rotary Club of Ann Arbor, whose directorate includes global grant scholarships, international humanitarian projects, membership development, and membership engagement. And he's joined by Sarah Maddock. Sarah is a co-chair of our PR Communications Committee, but also knows many of these contributions are made to make the club better and more important to Ann Arbor. So thank you for both being here. Leo, let's start. How would you express in a capsulized form the types of primary programs that the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor tries to support for the community?
Thank you, Steve. You know, I think you could summarize and say a large part of our local efforts, not all, but a large part are oriented toward youth. You can move from the reading efforts at the Beatty Learning Center in Ypsilanti, where you read to 4- and 5-year-olds, and I've done it. That's a hoot, right? That's a blast. Who knows what a 4-year-old is going to say, right? I think it's very useful to them, and frankly, it's useful to the Rotarians that volunteer to go over there and do that. You move up to tutoring in the Ann Arbor elementary schools, tutoring to maybe 4th, 5th graders, right? To the Strive program that you mentioned, aimed at the high school students at the Pathways to Success Academy, working with students to get them into Washtenaw Community College. Rotary offers about $20,000 a year in scholarships to help those kids make that leap out of maybe a tough beginning into that arena at Washtenaw Community College. You could keep going. Up at the other end of the spectrum, at the University of Michigan, there's a Rotaract Club, which is like a miniature Rotary that has officers, they have tasks, they have projects they do. It's a great learning experience, and it's rewarding and refreshing to see. They come in, the big project for them is a offshore project, typically in Central America in the spring of the year. Spring break for them is going to Guatemala, building whatever, latrines or a new well. Yes. Those kids are amazing. The things that the impact it has on them is really rewarding to them, certainly to people in Guatemala and other places. There's also Interacts, which is a miniature Rotary in effect at the high schools. Pioneer and Huron, same kind of thing. It's a miniature Rotary. They learn some of the ways of Rotary. They attend some of our meetings. So youth is the central theme. And we do give grant money for scholarships, as mentioned. We think it's a real aid to the community and certainly a benefit to Rotarians who participate.
It's an incredible amount of program activity with not only the grants that help them go, but also with the number of Rotarians that are able to participate and support and bring students that may not have had any other opportunity to come to life and build them a new career. Sarah, let's talk for a moment about how you help spread the good word of the contributions of the Rotary Club, because you're involved with our PR and communications effort. You are in the Twitter sphere, and you know everything about Facebook. How do you communicate? What impresses you about what we do and how you communicate it?
Thank you. Well, yes, I've been working on the Public Relations Committee for several years now, in particular with the social media outreach for the club, and I've had a lot of enjoyment out of that. One of the things that strikes me doing this is just, like you said, the sheer number of projects and activities that are going on at any time. And what's important about that is, you know, we have these really complicated projects involving thousands of dollars, months, sometimes years of planning, like the park and some of the international projects. But there really is something for everybody in Rotary. Many of the members still work full-time or have families like myself, and so, you know, we can't necessarily get involved with the overseas things or the bigger projects, but there are little ways to contribute and have fun and be a part of our club, and those are the kinds of things that I've really gotten enjoyment out of, such as you know, being on a committee doing the social media, which I really enjoy. We have the Doers of Good Deeds Dogs Committee who does these one-off sorts of activities that are helpful around the community that don't take a lot of effort or planning or time, but are still really impactful and a lot of fun to get involved and get to know the different members of the club through that kind of service, because that's really what brings us all together, is a love of service and helping out, and that makes it so that the members of the club really develop friendships that I really appreciated.
And I should mention that you are also part of the bowling team on Rotary.
That's
as well,
right,
so
absolutely.
We'll have to do a whole show on that in the future.
Well, you know, we have a really popular event every year, the golf and tennis outing, that brings out a lot of great golfers and tennis pros or fans, and that's not for me, but we sure do like to bowl on the Rotary.
Well, thanks to both of you for being here, Leo Shedden and Sarah Maddock. Thank you very much. Great Rotarians. I appreciate their dedication and knowledge to the variety of critical services that the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor offers to youth, vocational service, member engagement, and the quality and success of this effort is the lasting impression that we can give to the Ann Arbor community. So coming up, we go to the international space with the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor as one of the largest Rotary International organizations in the world, 1.2 million members here. Our Rotary Club of Ann Arbor is offering its time, talent, and resources to worthy efforts organized with other Rotary clubs around the world. We are going to hear more about that firsthand from our president, Ashish Sarkar, as he informs us about our club's international projects. So stay with us. You are watching Ann Arbor Rotary Today on CTN.
Service above self, the Rotary International's motto, has always impressed me. One reason I am here in Rotary is because I wanted to serve. And it has given me that opportunity not only in this community of Ann Arbor where I live, but around the world. I have made so many friends all over the world because of Rotary, and I feel very lucky and very proud about it.
This is Ann Arbor Rotary Today, and now we welcome to our program our club president, Ashish Sarkar. Ashish is serving his one-year term as president of the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor and has an outstanding, distinguished career as servant leader to our club since he joined in 2002. Ashish has programmed a very exciting year of activities for our club, and he also has a personal connection as a leader with our involvement with international projects where local Ann Arbor Rotarians not only support the financial needs of special international humanitarian projects, but make sure that we're involved with other clubs around the globe. Welcome, President Ashish. It is a pleasure to have you here. Let's talk about what our club does. We're in Ann Arbor, Michigan, really a small city, but we do community service that goes around the globe and has a global impact. Why does a Rotary Club get involved in this international work?
Yeah, first of all, thank you. Thank you, Steve, for getting me here and giving me the opportunity to tell you what we do internationally. Now, to answer your question, there are several reasons. First of all, we are a very large club in a small community, and that is because We are in a very cosmopolitan city with people from all over the world. We have diverse membership of our club, and it automatically feeds into the notion that we should do something not only in our community but beyond our community. Now, Rotary International also has projects all over the world because they have exchange programs and so on. One of the biggest projects that Rotary has tackled is joined the eradication of polio in 1985. And when there were 350,000 cases of polio every day around the world. And today, as of August this year, around the world, we have only 15 cases of polio.
It's a fantastic.
So we are this close to eradicating the polio. It will still need a lot of money because there are polio cases in 2 more countries, and they are very difficult to reach. So that's one reason we got involved in polio eradication in 1985, and that was a huge international effort.
Let's talk about your involvement, your personal involvement internationally with some projects that the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor has done.
Well, 3 years ago, the Rotary International started this program with matching grant called Global Grant Projects. What it is they match, Rotary International matches 100% of what the club gives. So that was a huge way to leverage your investments up for doing good for people who really need it around the world. On top of that, we added another component to that. We went out to people and asked for earmarked donation for those projects. So for example, we just are about to finish a project in Guatemala working with 180 poorest of the poor women in the region who hardly even speak Spanish. We are giving them money, what is known as micro lending, to start their businesses. And you wouldn't believe, Steve, in 2 years that we have been involved with it, they get the loan, small amount in US currency, and they start their business, they feed their children, they change their lives. And that's the impact. And we were able to leverage for that project 5 times the money we spent.
That's fantastic.
So our $20,000 became $105,000 project.
Well, those are the types of things that, from a local standpoint, that some people may not be familiar with how our club extends its impact around the globe, and the amount of dollars that our club personally raises that is shared with other Rotary clubs around the globe as well. And your role this year as our president has, as I said, programmed a very active set of activities. Some of them are international focused, some of them are bringing those international themes here to the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor, such as the End Polio Now rally that we just did yesterday. So it's going to be a very active year for President Ashish Sarkar. Thank you very much for being here today, Ashish. We certainly appreciate that. And now it's time to thank you very much for your presence of being here, watching us to learn more about the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor. It's simple to make contact with us either by email at administrator@annarborrotary.org, or you can use our phone number 734-662-1734. Message us on Facebook, Rotary Club of Ann Arbor is our page, or follow us on Twitter @Ann Arbor Rotary. If we've inspired you to think about the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor and Rotary International and how we might be the right type of service organization for you, please contact us so we can invite you to one of our meetings to see for yourself. You'll be surprised at the energy, fellowship, and engagement of the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor. Until next time, remember this Rotary motto: one profits most who serves best. I'm Steve Schramm for the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor. Thank you for joining us.